You are gonna love my shrimp tacos recipe. They are so easy to make and come out incredibly flavorful. I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking. And remember, if you love this recipe, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. Let's first go over all the ingredients you need to make this recipe. Shrimp, jalapeno, corn tortillas, coleslaw mix, taco seasoning, lime, garlic, Greek yogurt, honey, cilantro, and salt. And the only piece of special cooking equipment you're gonna need for this recipe is a blender. First thing we need to do for this recipe is to make sure our shrimp are as dry as possible. And the reason why we wanna do that is because when these shrimp hit the pan, if they're really dry, they're gonna crisp up really nice. But if they're not as dry, they're gonna do a little bit more of like a steam boil situation, and you just won't get a nice sort of crispy exterior on them. So I always say this, but really dry your shrimp as well as you possibly can. One other note, guys, that is so important for this recipe, when you're buying shrimp, really try to find the largest shrimp that you can. I always see these really small, like almost like cocktail shrimp in the grocery store. You do not want to use those at all. The bigger shrimp are going to be so much better because they're not going to overcook as easy as the small ones. So this is the size of shrimp that I really love for this recipe. This is like a large white shrimp. It's been peeled and deveined already, and it's just like a really good size for this recipe. So aim for this. Next, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to my shrimp. And I'm also gonna be adding about 2 tablespoons of my taco seasoning. You can really use any taco seasoning that you want, but if you want my taco seasoning, which is the best in my opinion, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to send it to you. And now all we need to do is give these shrimp a nice mix to make everything well combined. With the shrimp set aside, now we're gonna move on to working on our sauce. And this sauce is so good. This is a lime crema sauce and you are gonna absolutely die for this sauce. You're gonna put it on literally everything. Now we're gonna prep our jalapeno for the sauce. So we only need a half of a jalapeno. And if you love spicy sauce, if you love spicy food at all, you can use more, of course. I'm a bit of a spice wimp, but I really do like a little kick in this sauce. So I'm gonna use half a jalapeno, and I'm also going to cut this piece in half, and I'm going to scoop out the seeds because I definitely don't want them. They are way too spicy. And since this jalapeno is going in the blender, you don't have to cut it any more than that. As always, I've got all of the instructions, including all of the ingredient measurements on my website. So for that link, check the video description below. Next, we are going to prep our cilantro for the blender. Again, you don't really need to do much since we're throwing it in a blender. So I just like to cut off the thickest part of the stems. And the amount of cilantro you need for this recipe is 1 cup. I'm gonna give this cilantro just another little bit of a rough chop. By giving it a rough chop like that, you're just gonna ensure that the long stems of the cilantro don't get wrapped around the blade of the blender. Now that we've got all of our sauce ingredients prepped, let's move on to the blending. So grab your olive oil and we are gonna add 3 tablespoons straight into the blender. Next, we're gonna add our Greek yogurt. My recipe calls for 6 ounces of Greek yogurt. This is a 5.3 ounce container. That's close enough. We don't have to split hairs. So just add your Greek yogurt straight into your blender. And this Greek yogurt is an incredibly important ingredient to this sauce because it's gonna give it this really great creaminess. Next, we're gonna be adding our cilantro that we chopped earlier. This is gonna be 1 cup. For a touch of sweetness, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of honey. If it ever comes out. There we go. And of course, we're gonna be adding a little bit of acid from a lime. This is a half a lime, and you can just juice that right into your blender. Let's add in our half a jalapeno that we cut earlier and 1 clove of garlic. The last ingredient for the sauce is gonna be a half a teaspoon of salt. Now all we need to do is to pop the top on the blender and let's give it a blend until it's smooth. Okay, so this is really good that that happened. So what you're gonna see, check out that. That's how our sauce is looking at this very moment. So now what I wanna do is add a little bit of water into this sauce just to get it moving in the blender. So I'm gonna start small and work my way up. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of water in at a time just so that I don't go overboard with the water. All right, and after you add each tablespoon of water, try to give it another blend just to see if that did the trick. The reason why I'm so cautious with water is because if you go too far, there's really nothing you can do and your sauce is just gonna come out too watery and that's no good. One thing you can do too is to take your spatula and just scrape down the sides just to try to get all the contents right in the bottom of the blender so that it's blending really nicely. Okay, this texture is looking really nice. So all I had to do was add 1 tablespoon of water, and check this out. Next thing you need to do is to grab out a medium-sized mixing bowl. We are going to add 2 cups of this coleslaw mix right into the bowl. Now we're gonna add the sauce right on top of the coleslaw, and check this out. Oh, this sauce is so good. I think this sauce is literally my most favorite part of this recipe. So next we wanna give this coleslaw and the sauce a nice big mix so that it's all perfectly combined. And this is how the lime crema slaw should be looking right now. So now we're finally at the fun part, that's the cooking. We're gonna cook these shrimp in a large pan. I definitely say don't use a medium or small pan. It's gonna crowd the shrimp too much. You wanna give them a little bit of air, a little bit of space. We've already put olive oil on the shrimp as we season them. You don't need to add any more oil into your pan unless you want to. Just drop in these shrimp. And I like to turn the heat to about a medium high. I like to cook these shrimp hot and fast. It's really the best way to go. Just about 1 to 2 minutes per side. As I've got these shrimp cooking in the pan, I feel like they're just a little bit dry, so I'm gonna add a tiny bit more of olive oil just to get them sizzling. All right, so it's been just about 2 minutes. You can start to see that the shrimp are beginning to curl. That's a good sign that they're ready to be flipped. So let's give them a quick flip. Oh my gosh, look at how amazing that they're turning out. You've got these little charry bits on the outside. They're perfectly crispy and they look so delicious. So let's get all of these guys flipped over here. And all we're gonna do is cook these maybe another 1 minute max, and then we're gonna take them off the heat. With the really large shrimp, sometimes I like to just roll the shrimp over and cook them on their side, just like this for 20 or 30 seconds at the most. All right, I think these shrimp are looking really great. I'm gonna take them off the heat and set them aside. All right guys, so let's move on to taco assembly now. Grab out your tortillas. If you haven't already, heat up your tortillas and then grab out your cilantro lime crema slaw that we made earlier. We're gonna add 1 layer of the slaw right on top of the tortilla, just like so. And then depending on the size of your tortilla, could be 1 or 2 shrimp. I love to add a little bit of fresh chopped cilantro. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of cotija cheese or queso fresco, whatever you can find. Just add a little bit of cheese right on top, followed by a squeeze of lime juice. All right, this shrimp taco is totally done and I cannot wait to give it a try. But before I do, if you love this recipe and you wanna see more just like it, check out my Mexican recipes playlist. Okay, let's see how we did. Now, I don't usually say this, but these shrimp tacos are literally restaurant quality. They're so easy to make. The cilantro lime crema slaw is such a great addition to these tacos. I know you're gonna love these. You gotta give them a try. See you in the next video.